Hey there, fellow travelers. My name is Chris, and I'll be your guide for the day. It is road trip time. We're driving from LA to Las Vegas, and I'll show you several cool and unique stops that you can make along the way. Before we kick things off, please consider subscribing to my channel if you like to travel and enjoy learning about different destinations. I really appreciate it, and with that, we're gonna start the tour. The drive between LA and Las Vegas is about 270 miles, and without any major traffic delays takes roughly 4 hours. That being said, oftentimes you will hit traffic, especially starting your drive in LA on a Friday and heading back from Vegas on a Sunday. The drive can be much longer on those days. The majority of the drive you'll be on Interstate 15 going through the Mojave Desert, which includes parts of the iconic Route 66. The first stop on our road trip is Victorville, where we visit the California Route 66 Museum. The building houses a gift shop and 3 display rooms showcasing Route 66 memorabilia. There are several photo opportunities, such as a 50s diner setting, as well as the VW Love Bus, or you can also hop on a 1917 Ford Model T. As you might know, Route 66 runs from Chicago to Santa Monica, and this here is the original first booth that was located at the end of the trail in Santa Monica. Admission to the museum is free, with donations gratefully accepted. The staff there is super friendly and knowledgeable about the Mother Road. Make sure to strike up a conversation with them, and they can also give you tips on other roadside attractions. Our next stop is about a 15-minute drive from the museum, and it's quite the unique spot. This is Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch. Elmer, who unfortunately passed away in June 2019, created this place with trees made out of bottles. His father and him started collecting bottles when Elmer was a kid, and his dad's collection became quite large, and when he wanted to give it away, Elmer took the bottles and eventually created this forest of bottle trees in the middle of the desert. When I visited, it was closed, and I'm not sure if they will ever open again since Elmer's passing, but you can certainly see a lot of the trees from the road. As you drive back towards the freeway, you have the option to stop in Grande at this antique store named Lona's Treasures, located on your right-hand side. Note that it's only open Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's also this pizza joint next door. I wasn't hungry when I was there, but I gotta say, even just standing outside I started drooling because that pizza smelled amazing. So definitely check it out. Our next stop is Barstow, which is about a 30-minute drive from Victorville. There are several things you can do here. You'll find another Route 66 museum. I personally like the one in Victorville better, but they certainly had some cool items here as well, such as this old Ford Mustang. Admission to this museum is free, and they appreciate donations and purchases in the gift shop. Next door, you'll find the Western America Railroad Museum, which showcases the history of railroading in the Pacific Southwest. Not something I would recommend visiting unless you are really into trains. The coolest part were these old trains located at the parking lot. For those of you that like roadside attractions, make sure to stop at this big fire helmet at the fire department in Barstow. It's a tribute to the firefighters who died on 9/11. The helmet is a FDNY replica and bears the number 343 on the shield, which is the number of members of the NYC Fire Department that died in the collapsing of the Twin Towers. You should park at the Desert Discovery Center next door, as the driveway at the helmet is for emergency vehicles only. Lastly, another roadside attraction stop in Barstow is the so-called Barstow Station, where you'll find probably one of the most unique McDonald's, where you can eat inside of these train cars. Heading further along Interstate 15, the next stop is Peggy Sue's 50s Diner in Yermo. This original roadside diner was built in 1954 with 9 counter stools and 3 booths. The folks that own the diner now restored and reopened it in 1987. As you walk through the diner, you'll see lots of movie memorabilia, and the diner has become much more than just a place to grab food. It's more of an old-fashioned tourist stop with a 50s style store, an ice cream parlor, and a pizza parlor. There is even a dinosaur park outside where you can stroll through during your visit. I really like this stop, and you really feel like you're taken back to the 1950s. From Peggy Sue's Diner, a short 10-minute drive takes you to Calico Ghost Town, which used to be a silver mining town founded in 1881. It was abandoned in the mid-1890s after silver lost its value, and ultimately this town became a ghost town. Walter Knott, who created the Knott's Berry Farm Amusement Park in Southern California, purchased Calico in the 1950s, restoring many of the buildings. Today, Calico is part of the San Bernardino County Regional Park System and visited by travelers from all over the world. There's an $8 admission fee to enter the ghost town. Also, a quick side note, if you're traveling in an RV, note that they have an RV campground on site. As you walk through the town and buildings, you learn about the history of this mining town. There are several different buildings showcasing how life was in this mining town back in the day. There are also some shops and restaurants, as well as attractions such as walking through the Maggie mine, which today is the only mine that is safe for guests to walk through. Oh, this here is my friend Raul, who's on this road trip with me. Raul, what are you doing?
Backcountry out here. There's tons of bats.
No, there's no bats out there. What are you talking about? Raul, just get out of my shot, please. Thank you. Or you can take an 8-minute train ride on the Calico-Odessa Railroad. For more info on attractions and fees for those, visit the Calico Ghost Town attractions link down in the description below. There really is a lot to see and do here, and you could easily spend half a day here, but you can also choose to make this an hour-long stop, just walking the grounds on your way between LA and Vegas. As we drive back towards Interstate 15, you can see this giant ice cream sundae. This is Eddy World, California's largest gas station, including a Tesla supercharging station. It's really just a pit stop where you can fuel up your car and grab some food or snacks for the drive. In close proximity, you'll also find the Liberty Sculpture Park, which was created by a Chinese-born dissident and sculptor with the purpose of championing the human desire for freedom and condemning the oppression of Chinese communism. You don't necessarily have to drive to the park and can just look at it from the road. If you do decide to drive there, please note that a dirt road leads to the park, not a paved street. Alright, moving on from Yermo, our drive continues along Interstate 15 to Baker, the gateway to Death Valley. This town is mostly known for having the world's largest thermometer, standing at 134 feet or 41 meters tall and capable of displaying temperatures up to 134 Fahrenheit, which is 56 Celsius. And that was actually the highest recorded temperature in nearby Death Valley back in 1913. A man named Willis Heron had it built in the early 90s to attract people to his restaurant Bun Boy. Today, instead of a restaurant, there is a gift shop located at the thermometer along with a little picnic area. The next little unique stop is in Nipton, and sorry ladies, but this one is only visible to the gentlemen because it's a Waterfall urinal located in the men's restroom of this lonely Shell gas station. We are now approaching the California-Nevada state line. The town of Primm is located right at the border. There's Buffalo Bill's with the roller coaster, however it is not open at this time. You'll also find the Primm Valley Resort and Casino. If you want to get some gambling in before reaching Las Vegas, this is the place to do it. There's also a mall attached to the resort, but it really kind of seemed more like another ghost town while I was there. Lastly, you also find a lotto store here, which is still on the California side rather than the Nevada side. You wonder why is this so special? Well, it's actually the closest place to get lotto tickets if you live in Vegas. While Nevada is famous for gambling, the state does not run a lottery. That's why many southern Nevada residents go to Primm to purchase lottery tickets, and I've heard the lines can get quite long. There actually was a 4.7 million winning tickets sold here in 2020, so make sure to grab that lottery ticket on your way to Vegas. As we get closer and closer to Vegas, our next stop is the small town of Goodsprings, where we'll be visiting one of my favorite places on the road trip, the Pioneer Saloon. Settlement in the area started in the late 1800s in hopes of benefiting from the mining. The Pioneer Saloon opened in 1913, which is now the oldest continually operating bar in all of southern Nevada. The mahogany bar in the main saloon was built in the late 1800s and has been at the saloon since its opening in 1913. A man named Paul Chosky was fatally shot inside the saloon back in 1915 as he was caught cheating in a poker game. That man is thought to be one of several ghosts that haunt the saloon. Many patrons and employees have experienced ghostly encounters, and they are even serving a ghost burger, which I highly recommend getting. It's really one of the best burgers I've ever had, and it has even been featured on the Food Network. The interior and exterior walls are stamped tin and thought to be one of the last, if not the very last, of its kind in the US. Even the stove that heats the building today and the dining tables have been around since its opening day, making this a truly authentic Wild West saloon experience. In the back of the saloon you'll find a separate room named the Clark Gable Memorial Room. Actress and wife of Clark Gable, Carole Lombard, was on a plane that crashed just outside of Goodsprings back in 1942. Clark Gable immediately flew to the area and visited the Pioneer Saloon, where the search party was headquartered. Gable spent 3 days at the saloon waiting to hear if there were any survivors. Tragically, all 22 passengers aboard the flight perished. Countless television shows and movies such as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Miss Congeniality 2, and Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures have used the Pioneer Saloon as a backdrop. On to our last stop before reaching Las Vegas, the 7 Magic Mountains. This large-scale art installation was created by Swiss artist Ugo Rondinone, approximately 10 miles south of Las Vegas. Comprised of 7 towers of colorful, stacked boulders standing more than 30 feet high, 7 Magic Mountains has become quite the popular attraction, especially for those Instagram-worthy photos. The exhibition opened in May 2016 and was scheduled to be on view for 2 years. Due to its success, it has been extended and can still be visited today.
Hey everyone, Raul here. I don't know where Chris is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this road trip for him. So we made it to Las Vegas, the gambling mecca in the world, located in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I really hope you enjoyed this road trip and got some inspiration for your next drive between LA and Las Vegas. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite stop is, and I highly suggest, just picking out some of the stops along the way in order not to make the drive too long. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting that like button for my friend Chris and sharing it with your friends and family. I know he really appreciates it. And to close it out, I'll just do the same like Chris always does and say thank you and Jackson.